the most devastating punchers of all time, Nigel Benn. Benn is earning a cool £1 million for defending his WBO middleweight crown, but it's pride that's really at stake on November the 18th in Birmingham. Like Samson, Nigel found the haircut wasn't a lot of help.
Oh, he's gone. So, the big hitter has been hit in the 6th round, and the way he backed off from that punch in the eye, it looked as though he wasn't sure he'd been counted out on his feet there.
But the Dark Destroyer steered away from his own wreckage towards America, and a collision with Doug DeWitt for the recently created, and according to some, barely significant WBO title. After taking a count, Benn won convincingly. If he could do the same against Iran Barkley, who'd rubbed out Hitman Hearns, that would silence the doubters for good.
What a round. It's done him again. Remember now, the 3 knockdown rule of WBO is in effect if he goes down once more in this round. No, he stopped it already.
Nigel Benn, he's talking to you.
To face me. The thing about him, he's all hype. He's all hype, you know, and I can't wait to November the 18th to give him a good hiding. You know, he went out there, he'd done a job on the guy. Who was it? Another Sanchez, Gomez, Lopez, who was it? Another road sweeper? Hey, I've done that before. Now I'm with the big boys. I'm there already. He's got to prove himself, not me.
Will you prove yourself, Chris?
On that particular night in question, I will show that I have what it takes. This man is nothing but, he's the real hype. I come up the hard way. I didn't have
prove myself, boy.
You had your time. Let's have some parliamentary procedure here, all right?
Oh, God.
In regards to Chris saying that boxing is a mugs game, we've got something to show you. It's a piece of our own artwork. Perhaps you'd like to home in on that. It's a mugs game. And I'd say this, a Shakespearean quote for you young men to learn. How much sharper than a serpent's tooth it is to have a thankless child. That's from all the professional boxers in this country.
Make sure the fight takes place by signing the contract right now. Christopher? I have to say, there seems an element of genuine hate between these two, Ambrose.
For sure.
I don't hate the man. I just want his WBO title. I pray that I have enough dignity not to hate the man.
Exactly.
Hate doesn't come into it for me. Hate destroys the game and makes it look brutal, and that's why a lot of people don't take to it. I don't hate the man. I want the man's title, and I intend to prove that I'm a better fighter than the man, which I am.
All right, gentlemen, you both signed the contract.
I personally do hate him. I personally do hate him.
So is there any point in me asking you to shake hands after signing the contract?
No.
Well, gentlemen, all 4 of you, thanks for joining us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
My energies are just kicking up now.
Yeah, mine's already been in there about 2 months ago.
2 months, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose that's a...
Chow, what? You want some?
We're here to train, we're here to train. Save it, boys. Boys, hold on a minute. Let me this. I want to talk to him. I want to talk. I want to talk. Nigel, come over here. Give me your hand. Calm down. Give me your hand. 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 It's cold. Right now, you push me, yeah? Okay. You got 1 up. Enough! Ronnie, get him out. Ronnie. Enough. Guys, just push him away. Right? No, he's not doing this. Right? Go away, mate.
I'm going to tell you how it's going to be. With Scotch's lifetime guarantee. Take what you want both night and day. Then re-record, not fade away. Re-record, not fade away. Re-record, not fade away.
Every recording as good as the first, or we'll give you a new tape. You can watch Scotch forever.
Re-record, not fade away.
We want blue stripes, we want white. We want the red stripes, but that's all right. As you can see, Aquafresh has all three. Aquafresh is for the family.
The red stripe helps fight plaque and protects gums. The white stripe has fluoride to fight decay. And there's a blue stripe for fresh breath. So Aquafresh gives 3-in-1 protection for your family.
Brush, brush, red stripe, blue stripe, white. Brush, brush, gurgle, gurgle, it's just right. Aquafresh has to be the only one with all three. 3-in-1 protection for your family.
You sweat. And when you lose body fluid, you lose the edge. But you don't accept second best. Take Lucasade Sport, the one that's isotonic, to replace body fluids fast. Lucasade Sport, the one that sharpens your edge.
Welcome to the main arena at the National Exhibition Centre on the outskirts of Birmingham. A very big occasion here. Some very famous faces are at ringside. Big Frank Bruno, who's had his share of world title fights. Paul Gascoigne, fresh from the match at Goodison this afternoon. Gaza is with us here at the NEC as well. Linford Christie, the quickest man in Europe, looking to see if Nigel Benn can produce a quick knockout here. And Terry Marsh, what a reception he got here at the NEC. I feel sure he'll be back in action very soon. Hello, good evening to you. It really is a very special occasion here at the NEC.
So taking a bit of time there because the inspector from the World Boxing Association is handing out the coagulates. They won't let them, the seconds, bring their own. They hand it out in the corner. First time that I've seen that. He's such an unusual man, this Chris Eubank. He really is. Oh, he's coming outside on. Throwing punches back early. We knew Ben would come out firing, as he always does. But Eubanks is answering him, even if he is doing it on the run.
He's doing it the wrong way in the first round, Reg. His hands are too low. He's very difficult to catch Eubank, but he doesn't have a tight defence. I thought he would have tightened it up already. He looks as though he's going to try to evade the punches rather than block them, and that could be dangerous. Although he's coming back with decent shots of his own.
Yeah, he's looking to win that bet, Jim. Got 40 to 1. He could win in the first. A little arrogant shake of the head there. Or confident, as he likes to call it.
So I suppose we have to remember that Ben has been shaken in most of his recent contests, Reg.
Yeah, his recovery has been better since he was knocked over by Michael Watson.
Well, what's happened, Reg, he's actually landed his own bombs before he's had to recover most of the time. But Ben's a little bit slow getting them off the mark in the first round here.
Oh, he's elusive enough, isn't he, Eubank? A real slippery character indeed, and of course unbeaten.
Ben not quite as cavalier as we've seen him. He looks as though he's trying to pick shots, so we can't fault him for that.
No, going in and waging war recklessly, might have come off second best very early. So a minute to go in the opening round.
Well, the first decent shots they landed have come from Eubank, Reg. And there's nothing wrong with his temperament. He looks very calm as he come into the ring. He really fancies the job.
Well, we've never been sure with the 24 wins, really, because the opposition hasn't been that good. But this was very much a proving fight for Eubank, and the opening round is proving pretty useful.
Well, he's kept Ben at bay so far. Ben's had to reach with his punches. He's not getting right in and getting the shoulder behind him.
Oh, well, we don't want that. The old wrestling game, 2 falls or a submission. So the countdown for the end of the first. And it looks like he's blown his bet there, Eubank. But with the money they're getting tonight, well, maybe it doesn't matter. Well, there's all sorts of guesses on what they're earning. So there's the rundown on Ben then, of course. The one loss was to Michael Watson, who's also on this card tonight. And while he's been doing that, Ben, they're just looking around there. I'm surprised that they already need the wash and brush up with the Vaseline there. Percy Armstrong from America. And that's Vic Andretti, former champion, in the corner there. He seems to have done Ben a lot of good during his training in Miami. And while a lot of that was going on, Chris Eubank was posing, walking around the ring.
10 seconds.
Jim, it's interesting to say the least.
Yeah, but Eubank hasn't the tight defence I would expect him to have. He's looking to evade punches rather than to block them. And that obviously is dangerous with Nigel Benn. But his own punches are good and sharp in the first round.
Oh, it's getting rough. See, now that tires a fighter out when they lean on like that, Jim, doesn't it? When he really pushed down there.
Yeah, I think he's just looking to mess Ben about as much as possible.
Yeah, Ben obviously likes a more conventional style with Doug DeWitt and Oran Barkley. They're both stand-up sluggers that he nailed.
Well, Ben just started to find his range at the end of the first round. He's found it a bit quicker in the second round here. So Eubank's trying to pull away from punches, Reg, and that's very dangerous for a man like this. You've got to block these punches, especially in the first 3 rounds.
Very difficult to weigh up Eubank the whole time, do you know what I mean? He just won't let you know what he's doing, and he certainly won't let the opponent know what he's doing.
Well, Ben is going to make him fight tonight, Reg. He's not going to get away with what he's got away with in the past. Ben, it's a more thoughtful approach from Ben than we've seen in the past. But he's really staying with Eubank all the way, and he's going to make him fight, Reg.
I think he has more boxing ability than generally credited, Ben. After all, he did win the ABA championships. That was a good shot, that was.
This is when Ben's dangerous, when he's got caught himself.
See, now he's doing his slow motion act, Eubank. It's incredible. He stands like a posing statue, and then he'll walk around and do a sort of Napoleonic strut. So into the final minute of the second then. Scheduled for 12.
Oh, that was a shot, Reg. Well, Eubanks has taken that one, Reg, yeah, so he can take a shot. That was the one.
Yeah. Other fighters haven't stood up with punches like that from Ben, have they?
That was a good shot, and that certainly got a reaction from Eubank. That was a lovely shot, Reg.
That's answered a lot of questions, Jim. Almost the final piece of the jigsaw, really, because I often wondered whether he could really take that good a punch, because he's never had a puncher compared with Ben.
Eubank is going to have to come back with punches, Reg. He's not going to be able to strut. He's going to have to try and hurt Ben. He's done it, Reg.
He's done Ben by the look of it. He chopped that right hand down, though. He's right above us, Ben, almost falling down on the ring on us here.
This is what we've seen Ben so dangerous from this position. Here it comes.
He's always saying he likes to battle back, Ben. Well, he's got to do it here. He tried to do it with Watson, but it didn't work.
Ben's legs are shaky.
Oh, and good job. Richard Steele, good referee, threw himself in the middle there. And meanwhile, He has a little strut around there, doesn't he, Eubank? Now that was a little bit of the writing on the wall, I think, there for Ben. He was banging trouble.
Well, Ben staggered back to his corner there, Reg. He was in bad shape at the end of that round. He hurt Eubank, but Eubank has taken the play right away from him again. I think Eubank's plan should be to go for Ben now, because he's getting caught too often. He's too loose. He wants to start attacking. I think he must have a great chance. He badly shook Ben just at the end of that round.
And there the statistics. Well, you can throw those out the window at times with a fight like this, can't you? Two boxing brothers, Peter and Simon. Spell their name with an S on, but he decided to knock the S off.
10 seconds.
So they must be saying, well, now listen, you know this fella's a bit dangerous. You knew that when you came in, now you know for sure. Round 3. Suddenly had a little wobble in that second round there, Ben. In fact, quite a wobble. It was almost as if somebody had dropped the carpet from under his feet.
Ben's caught him again, but Eubank is taking these punches well, Reg. So Eubank at this stage certainly looks to have the stronger chin.
It's amazing, Jim, for a fellow who openly says he doesn't like the game and calls it brutal and all that kind of thing. He's a brave guy. Started his career, by the way, in America only with 4-round fights, and he won them all, 5 of them in Atlantic City.
So Eubank is still backing off, Reg, and you would think after the success he would come forward, try to take the play away again. Ben is even more dangerous when you allow him to come forward.
So the first minute gone then in the third round, and it's quite incredible the way Eubank soaked up those punches and then came straight back. Almost content, Jim, isn't it?
Yeah, his tactics are all wrong, Reg. He's getting away with it, he's doing well, but he should have a tighter defence. He's swaying away from punches. That he's taken a full-blooded jab. That's the second he's took in the last couple of seconds. He really is doing it the wrong way, especially after hurting Ben so badly in the previous round.
So the betting favourite was 11-8 on Ben. There might be a few twitchy backers around in this quite big audience. Oh, as you say, Jim, that's when he's dangerous, isn't he? Like a wounded animal, the way he flies back there, Ben. He's trying to draw Eubank into a close quarter fight now.
Well, Eubank nailed him with a couple of nice uppercuts, but when Ben's low, you know what's coming over, Reg. You know it's hooks that are coming over. That is when he's so dangerous, when he bends in front of you.
So big bad Ben. A little bit reddened around the left eye there, Jim. Notice that?
Yeah, well, he's taken a few shots. I see some blood in Eubank's left eye, but it's below, it's on the cheek. So it shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, he rocked there as well. End of the third. So round 4. It's getting hotter by the second. And in that third round, when Ben managed to nail Eubank, I tell you, the surprise stayed on his face after the pain had gone. Eubank always telling us he's the craftsman of the two. He's got kind of an artful butchery about him, isn't he? He's very clever the way he does it.
Yeah, he has. A lovely shot from Eubank. Is he going to follow up this time? Now, this is what he should have been doing, trying to back Ben up. He should never allow Nigel Benn to come forward. See, once again, that's when he's dangerous.
Propped himself on the rope, so he took a few unnecessary punches. Well, none of them unnecessary, but he really could have got away from the ropes quicker than that. It's a bit worrying for Ben if he wants Eubank to punch himself out. I don't think that's going to happen.
See, Eubank still swaying from the waist, Reg, and that's why he's been caught so often by Ben. He obviously has a good chin because he's taken some crackers already. But I would have thought he'd have got his hands up a little bit more and his chin down. But he's swaying from the waist, and that's not going to work.
I just wondered when Eubank came into the ring, Jim, whether we were going to get a kind of hit and hop it, runaway type of action from him, but it hasn't been the case.
No, well, he certainly gave us a show, Reg. He said he could do the business. Well, he's mixing it in a world cup. Now, that was a lovely uppercut shot. It shoot Eubank just as it landed, but his head's cleared again.
Oh,
I think that was more of a stumble, Reg.
Well, no, he banged that left hook to the ribs as well. He's not. And he fought Kid Milo, I noticed. Eubank didn't seem to like that body punching. Well, who would? But he showed it too much there, didn't he?
And he's springing with his right hand at his. He's not throwing the same short, tight punches that he was throwing before Eubank. He started to stretch, and his defences have come apart a little bit in this round, Reg.
Well, he's got some durability at this stage, but I don't know whether he's breathing heavy or what. It gives the impression that he is, but maybe that's just a normal mannerism.
There's the big mouse coming up in Ben's left eye. The soft tissue under the eye has really swelled up.
Yeah, it has. I'll have to get the ice pack on that and get an end swell, as they call it, and iron it away between rounds. He's nodding to him right above us. It's almost as if Eubank's trying to talk to Ben there.
That's going to be a problem with Ben's vision, Reg, if this goes much longer.
Oh, that really would be a shame if injury causes a stoppage. So he goes for a walk at the end of the round, Eubank, but he had to show him back to the other corner there, Richard Stewart, the referee. Ben, he was going back to the wrong one. That eye's given him some problem. Jim, let's have a look at some replay here now.
Yeah, well, Eubank still doing the wrong thing, backing off, and that was a lovely uppercut. Now, that would have shaken quite a few people, Reg. That was as good as the shots that put Bartley over, but Eubank is taking the shots. So if things go his way tonight, then we can't say he didn't do it the hard way, because he's taken some real good shots. But that was a punch that staggered him, Reg. I think it was more of a balance than he was actually hurt. But Ben a little bit more ragged now than he was earlier.
10 seconds.
So coming out, there it is, you see, almost closed, and Percy Armstrong, American cornerman, at the time worked that away. There it is again, he's doing that, you see. Round 5. That's the point.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Sorry, Jim, I was going to say that, you know, we talk about the toughness of Nigel Benn, but toughness isn't always related to winning in the boxing business.
As I say, Reg, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of long rights are thrown from Eubank now, because that eye is in pretty bad shape, the left eye of Ben.
Tell you what, Jim, it'll be a problem to keep that going for 12 rounds. I had to keep him in condition to fight for 12 rounds.
Well, the nice thing about Ben, he doesn't too often have to go 12 rounds, but he's landed cracking shots and Eubank has taken well. I'm not saying he can take them indefinitely, but he's taken some beauties and he hasn't even really been shaken. Well, that was another one, Reg, another good right hand. Eubank takes that well again.
A little bit more caution now with Ben, isn't he? So he's standing off there, trying to wait for somebody's lead.
Good, accurate punch. That's the kind of boxing we expect from Eubank, making the other man miss and punishing him. Too often he's made Ben miss and then he's grabbed hold of him. I think this vision thing might be a problem with Ben now. He's getting nailed with a couple of sleek little counter punches. This could be his vision going.
He's picking his shots well there, Eubank.
Well, this is what we expect of him. Make the other fellow miss and pin him with counters. Discourage him that little bit. Eubank not being backed up quite so much, Reg. I think he's grown in confidence that little bit. This is where he doesn't want to become arrogant.
Minute to go in round 5. Crowd really baying here. Just waiting for something explosive to happen. I really don't know which one can do it either. Eubank, I think, thinks that battle plans are a distraction. He likes to do the odds for the throwback to bare knuckle days. Boxing skill.
Ben getting caught a little bit more often as he comes in. That could be down to the pace and down to the fact that his left eye is so badly swollen.
Round 6. Working feverishly there on the very large swelling there, almost plum size under Benn's left eye.
Another good left hook from Ben, which Eubank takes again, Reg.
He's really doing his punch picking now. He's posing in his punch picking to Eubank. What confidence he's got.
Well, this is what Eubank is better at. He must have been fearing the first 4 rounds of this battle. He must be thinking, if I get past the first 4 or 5 rounds, then we come into my territory, and that might be the case. And I did notice there was a little kind of friendly pat from Ben at the end of the 5th round. So he certainly has respect for Eubank now if he didn't come into the ring with it. But he's not snarling quite as much as he was at the first bell.
See, he's almost saying, come on, Jim, we can read his look from here, can't we?
Yes,
he's teasing a bit.
He's trying to do now what he should always be doing, trying to make Ben be the one who makes the mistakes. He's trying to draw a lead. There he goes, draws the lead, sticks on the counter. He's taking chances the way he's swaying back from these leads, but he's standing there waiting for them to come, so he's obviously confident he can cope with them.
Well, he's made up his mind that Eubank has got it. Oh! I think he might make a meal of that, the damaged undercarriage there, but he's saying take time off. The referee, who'll give him plenty of time to get over that. There's an obligatory foul-proof protectors have to be worn. This is not a country that has a no-foul rule. I mean, if you hit him low several times, you still could disqualify him, but this referee, well, is unlikely to do that unless it gets persistent. So they are. Plays resume, and they add the extra seconds then to the end of the round. Now that was a good body punch, Jim.
Nothing wrong with that one, Reg. That was on target. I think the punch he complained about might have been low, and if I had to be punched low, I wouldn't want Nigel Benn to be the one who was doing it. Ben's revved up, moved into a different gear now.
Yeah, he's juiced up now, isn't he?
But he's still running on to these punches from Eubank. A nice little short right from Eubank.
Very difficult fight to read for us, Jim, really, isn't it? Because they're changing so much with each round.
Yeah, well, in the last couple of rounds, Eubank has been the far more accurate of the two. It was close stuff in the first 3 rounds, Reg, but Eubank has certainly been the master. Not the complete master, but things have gone his way the last couple of rounds, far more accurate.
Frank, are you surprised at what's happening in this fight?
I'm very surprised, but Eubank is a very cool and calm character and a very fit character. Nigel Benn doesn't seem like he's peaking or shining tonight, and it's a very interesting fight.
Let's have a look at that low punch, actually.
Yeah.
What actually happened here?
That was centre wicket. There's certain different things like that happen in boxing, you know, when you go, that's centre wicket.
But accidental, do you think?
Accidental, but that's boxing, you know. You go in there and it's a rough game and things like that do happen. But it's one of the most exciting fights I've been to, Gary, you know.
Do you think that Eubank's going to win this now?
I'm not too sure. If I did think, I'd put some money on it. It's either even Stevens and Eubank looks a favourite at the moment. But Nigel Benn is a very dangerous guy. He can come with any even fight, Gary. Even fight.
So there you are, straight from Frank Bruno's mouth into round 7. And the corner men then for Ben are still working hard to keep that swelling down. There's a lot of anxious faces in that corner, particularly his agent manager Ambrose Mendy, almost leaning in the ring, calling out.
Well, I think as Eubank came into the ring tonight, Reg, he must have been wishing it was the 7th round, because obviously the early part of the fight most dangerous. Well, it is the 7th now, so we'll see if his plan of attack holds together.
Well, there's been all sorts of estimates on how much these fellas are going to earn, but they don't really know yet until they get the full takings in, because they're on percentages of gate and ancillary rights, etc., plus, of course, sponsorship by the Daily Mirror.
Ben's got a little more edge on his attack in this round. He was kind of floundering a little bit in the 6th. Looks a little bit sharper now at the beginning of the 7th. Ben's got a problem, Reg. He's just spat out his gum shield.
Yes, it's not obligatory to put it back. The British rule has now come that if a boxer's gum shield is knocked out, they can replace it, but it's the
Actually,
WBO rules.
He just took it out and spat, and maybe some blood out or something. He had a problem with his mouth there, but I think he just held the gum shield in his glove and spat out.
Well, certainly Eubank's never had his problem with his mouth, Jim, in or out of the ring. Oh, he's got him in a headlock there, isn't he?
Well, I think Ben has realised the 5th and 6th weren't his best rounds, so he's trying to... Oh, 2 good shots now. Will Ben take those, Reg?
So he knows instantly, Eubank, when he's got the man in trouble.
This is where Eubank must be careful.
He's saying, OK, come on, now Ben's answering him back. I thought that would happen. The referee might just calm them down a minute and say, I don't want any talking, I'm the only guy who's paid for the talking, apart from the commentators. Another low blow, and he's going to make a meal of that, but they're calling Ben on, saying, take no notice, the corner will get into him.
That just looked like a borderline shot to me, Reg. Is that a little bit of Eubank's character slipping there? I don't know, but that just looked like a borderline shot then.
Almost egg-sized, Jim, that swelling under the eye. Vic Andretti in Ben's corner there, saying, I want you to weave and duck your way in under those punches. He might be closing Ben, but he's not exactly pouring at some kind of unfamiliar object. He's managing to get them through.
I mean, you have to hand it to Ben. I mean, a few times in his career he's had to grit his teeth, and he's always managed, apart from the Michael Watson thing possibly, but he's always managed to do it and come blasting back. Surprised that Eubank hasn't tried to make better use of his jab, because Ben does come straight on in.
Yeah, exactly. Professes to be a master of the noble art. Oh, what? Almost came out on her lap there, Jim. A little bit of a slip. He's arguing with the referee. It was a slip. But there's no point in him shouting at him because he got clipped at the same time.
I think it was a bit of both, Reg. It was a slip, but it was a punch that caused him to slip, so you got to count.
Three American judges, remember, if this does go 12. Referee doesn't vote. And the three knockdown rule, if one boxer goes down 3 times, the same boxer in only 1 round, it's automatically over. And that is how Ben retained his championship last time up against Iran Barkley in the opening round.
Yeah, it looks just a little bit worse, Reg. They've done a good job with it in the corner, but just the swelling's gone up slightly.
Minute to go in the 8th. So it's sparring for openings again, Jim. They go a bit mad at times, and then they stand and look at each other like this. It's fascinating, isn't it, really?
Yeah, well, the 5th and 6th rounds, the fortune swung in Eubank's favour, and I thought he would have put the pedal down, but full credit to Ben. He came out in the 7th with a good round, and he's raised the pace, and he's kept the pace up.
Trying to do the refereeing as well, Eubank. He's showing that was a rabbit punch back of the neck, but Mr. Steele ignored it. I wonder how these judges have scored it now, Jim. It's not too easy. As you say, Eubank's had a good section in the 5th and 6th here. How would you have it now?
Well, I found it swaying about. I had Ben ahead after 3 rounds. After 5, Eubank came right back in. Maybe just nicked himself. And then Ben's come back in again, had a couple of good rounds. So it's really pretty even at this moment, Reg.
So the referee forgot about diving in instantly as he's been doing. But they just did the stare there, I'm glad to say. There was no extra time punching there. Ronnie Davis there, who used to manage Eubank, is working in the corner.
Well, the punch came over, Reg. A punch landed. It caught him on the shoulder and the neck. It wasn't really a tremendous punch, but a punch did put him over. More of a slip. But I think the referee could be forgiven for calling it a knockdown. A punch put him over.
And there it is again. Now there's a full view of that swollen eye there of Ben's. Well, that to me was a punch and not a slip, although he objected to it, Eubank.
10 seconds.
And we're getting ready now. There it is for round 9.
Seconds out. Round 9.
So it's all about the last furlong, as it were, and the stamina. And one trying to impose his will on the other one as well as his skill. The IBF champion right behind us here must be weighing this one up as a potential opponent, potential challenger. There's already plans if Ben wins for him to fight Steve Collins, the Dubliner who fights in the States and has already challenged for the world title.
Eubank is becoming a little bit negative now, Reg. He threw a punch and missed and he ducked away down. You know, he's not quite as positive in his approach in this round as he's been earlier. He's going to have to psych himself up. Maybe he needs to land a couple of shots like that just to bring his confidence back.
He has finished a 12-rounder, actually, Eubank against an Argentinian, but that was an easily forgotten fight, actually. Ben would like to be able to work to the body a bit more, Jim, wouldn't he, and make the head fall. But he tucked his arms closely in there, Eubank. Not easy to nail him. Especially as he's always moving, circling.
Yeah, well, against awkward fighters who move like Eubank, it's sometimes good policy to go to the body, but it's maybe a little bit late for that now, Reg. I think Ben has to keep doing what he's doing, just keep forcing him back and try to out-punch him, keep his punch rate higher than Eubank's. So Eubank wants to slow the pace, to fight in little bursts, pick away, a couple of punches, then back on his bike again. Ben has to raise the pace and maintain it.
He's a bit of a moaner, Jim, isn't he?
Yeah, which is usually a good sign for the other fellow. When your opponent moans to the referee, it usually means he's not too happy, things aren't going his way.
I remember when your manager would say that to fighters in the corner, stop feeling sorry for yourself.
Well, Ben is the one at the moment who has been prepared to grit his teeth and show how much he wants this championship. Eubank just a little bit negative.
Well, a flat punch landed on the back of his leg actually as he was falling. I think he was falling for that.
That was Ben.
Oh, what a shot that
shot
is.
really shook him.
Opened him up with the left hand and then shot the right hand over and it connected. There's the countdown. If he did go down, the count would continue.
Ben's shaking, Reg.
Oh, right to his boots, Jim.
Ben is shaking. The eyes watch Reg. This will be the finish of the belt.
And it's all over in the 9th round. And would you believe in Ben's corner, they looked as though they were objecting to that for a minute. Why was it stopped? But I think he was right to dive in there. Apart from the eye closing, he was also getting punished at that point, Jim.
Reg, Ben was finished at that point. The only thing that was going to save him was the bell. He wasn't going to save himself. And when the bell is going to ring, it's nothing to do with the referee. When a fighter is out of a fight to stay, he's got to stop the fight. Bad luck for Ben. A few seconds later, the bell would have rung, probably got him recovered again. But that was a tremendous left-hand shot that shook him. Eubank, to me, had become a little bit negative, but he'll probably tell us later that he bided his time and he knew it was coming. But we'll see what he says. But a tremendous finish. Well done, Eubank.
Yeah, I must say, he answered all the questions as far as I was concerned, because I have to say I was terribly confused about Eubank. Seen him quite a few times, never sure whether he was a really good fighter or not. But it looked there, I tell you, he's taken good shots, he's done a bit of acting, but, well, you can always do that. I mean, Ali did, but of course he was exceptional.
And on that day, a dark warrior rose to the earth to destroy the beautiful game.
Maybe they're friendly.
Au revoir.
Will it be chips or jacket spuds? Will it be salad or frozen peas? Will it be mushroom, fried onion rings? You'll have to wait and see.
From the Bird's Eye Steakhouse Lean Juicy Steakhouse Grills, pure ground beef that you cook like a steak and serve like a steak. What'll you give your old man with his steakhouse grill?
Hope it's chips. We hope it's chips.
Beef grills and lamb grills. More sizzlers from the Bird's Eye Steakhouse.
Aura.
It's too orangey for crows. It's just for me and my dog.
I'll be your dog. I'll be your dog. Doggy, doggy, boogie, boogie. Eora. Haruma. Fedora. We all adore Eora.
He jumped extremely well in qualifying, 8 meters 54, and the championship record is his. because Carl Lewis has won this World Championship long jump twice before. The wind has been swirling on the far side of the stadium. We've seen a number of windy jumps, wind-aided jumps, but equally we've seen a number of jumps with a headwind. But Carl Lewis goes in this first round. Oh, that's huge. Now Carl Lewis likes that jump. The crowd on the far side there are very well placed. And so, if they cheer, if they gasp, it's a very good indication that that's a long jump. The wind is showing 0, and that's amazing considering what we've had here this afternoon. The championship record is 8 meters and 67. It could well be in excess of that. But this is Carl Lewis' strength. Superb running on the runway. His 100-meter speed comes in very useful indeed. 8 meters 68. That's a new championship record. 68. But this is the man who almost beat Carl Lewis in the United States Championships for these World Championships, the trials. 785 in the first round. Oh, that's definitely better. That is much better, and he gets a white flag. Mike Powell's best this year, 8 meters 63, and that was the long jump he did in those United States trials. And in fact, that was recorded a little earlier on, and we can tell you that that jump by Powell was 8 meters and 54. That's only 14 centimeters behind Carl Lewis's leading jump. Kaplan jumps you're ever likely to see. Hit the board well. I'd be interested to see how far onto the board he was. The height was good, the technique was perfect, but look at that relaxed running action. 8 meters 83 converts in old money to a tantalizing 28 feet 11 3/4, 7 centimeters off the world record. I think, Stuart, you were right next to the long jump pit in Mexico City. It's gone up. The red flag has gone up, and that was a delayed decision. Mike Powell runs over, and he's pleading with those officials and says no, that was not a no jump. But the officials will have the last word because he knew that was a massive effort. We'll never know how far that was, but Mike Powell thinks it was probably one of the best of his career. 7 centimeters at the moment separate him from possible immortality in track and field terms. The target, Bob Beeman's world record of 8 meters and 90 centimeters. He's so fast on the runway. That's a long one again. Now 8 meters and 83 in the last round was a massive effort. Again aided by a following wind, this time slightly stronger at 2 meters 0.9. So frustration there for Lewis, because even if that was a record, it wouldn't have counted. But there's no doubt about it, this man is in incredible form. 891, the longest jump in history. A championship best is now in excess of the world record, but it will not count as the world record.
The wind speed must be 2 meters per second for a world record to be allowed. And Lewis has the longest jump in history. He'll have to wait for the wind to drop.
Watch this.
Mike Powell, having just seen Carl Lewis jump that wonderful 8 meters and 91. He knew he had the ability in the last round to come out with a huge jump, and he did just that. But he was over the board by a margin, and that was adjudged to be a foul. So what can Mike Powell do in the 5th round? He's been close to Carl Lewis in the past, but he's never beaten him. Personal best performance, 8 meters 66. He needs in excess of that to get even close to Carl Lewis. Oh, he really went for that one. That's huge! That's got to be close to Carl Lewis's new figures of 891. And just looking at the wind speed gauge, that's legal. So if that's anywhere near 890, it could be a world record. Plus 0.3 meters per second. Well, there's some anticipation in the stadium now, and Carl Lewis watches anxiously. Mike Powell has always had the potential, but has he got it today? Oh my goodness, 8 meters 95. That is history in the making. That's a world record by 5 centimeters. Beeman's figures have disappeared off the record books forever. They've lasted since 1968. Carl Lewis hoped to be able to be the first man to do it legally, but Mike Powell has beaten him to it. If there was any other athlete in the world other than Carl Lewis on the long jump runway now, I would say that the long jump competition was over. There's still a tingle going down the spine of everybody in this stadium, having seen Mike Powell jump 8 meters 95 for new world record figures in the 5th round. But Carl Lewis has been behind before in long jump competitions, and now it's all about pride. Fancy being in second place with 8 meters and 91, the second longest jump in history. 8 meters and 95, 29 feet, 4.5 inches. Carl Lewis will wait for the right moment. Here he goes. It's big. It's certainly a big long jump. No doubt about that at all. I think the expectancy of the crowd was that Carl Lewis would immediately come back with a world record, but that is just too much to ask of even this man. Having said that, he's got one jump left, and he's at his best. He's at his most dangerous when he's the underdog, and you can't say that very often about Carl Lewis.
He was last beaten in 1981, so he's had a decade of long jump successes. He's fighting for his life here. Into a headwind there. Now that's interesting, isn't it? And now into a headwind of 0.2, so it's not going, the luck not going with Carl Lewis on this particular occasion. 8 meters and 87, 2.5 hitch kick, really attacks the board, low trajectory, hits it, rotates into a slight headwind, and well, it's a personal best, I think. Having said that, yes, it is a personal best into a headwind, and he's in second. 8 meters and 87 legal by Mike Powell. 8 meters 95. History was made some 15 minutes ago. In fact, in the last half hour, we've seen the first, the second, and the fourth longest jump in the history of track and field athletics. But I wonder what's going through Powell's mind now. Does he still think that Lewis can come back? Or another alternative could be, how on earth do I follow what I did in the last round? Good jump again from Powell. Let's look at the wind speed. I think it was plus 3 meters per second that time. So that was quite a strong following wind for Mike Powell. In fact, it was a foul. And that says it all.
Here he goes. It's long. He gets the white flag. There was a huge roar when he took off from the long jump runway. There was a flash of bulbs around the stadium, thinking that perhaps history was in the making. And that would have been a legal jump, plus 1.7 meters. But one suspects that this time, Carl Lewis's unbeaten run of 10 years has come to an end, but it has taken a world record to do it. He congratulates Mike Powell. We still wait for the distance. It's a fantastic effort, 8 meters and 84, but Mike Powell is the new world champion. Meters 95, new world record figures. Even the officials get a hug. As Lewis goes away, he's lost his championship. But look at that record. Look how far he had to jump to come into second place.
Well, if you want proof that boxing is the toughest game of all, I think we've seen it here at the NEC tonight. What a fight. And let's hope that Nigel Benn does indeed get back into the ring once again. I think we could all stand for Ben Eubank too.